Well, good evening, everyone. This is Alvie from Just Alvie News. It's about 9 o'clock on Sunday. Give you guys that 30 seconds to log on while you're waiting. Go ahead and click a reaction, hit that share button and all that stuff. Main topic tonight, I want to give you an update. We'll do a little recap as well on the body recovery in Hensley back at the end of June. Hope everybody had a great day today. A little bit cooler than it has been. I'm checking everything on my end when you guys are logging on. I see myself. That's always a good thing. What's up, Jennifer? Okay, let me get my screen pulled back up. Everybody have a good day today. I wanted to give everybody a few minutes to log on. At least a minute, that way, since everybody's been waiting on this update, long term coming, because that's kind of how our process works up here. So if you're not familiar with the case that we're discussing today, back on June 30th of this year, I'd received a call early in the morning about a heavy police presence on Hensley Loop in Hensley, Arkansas. So I eventually made my way out there, made some contacts, and we had Pulaski County Emergency Management out there, Pulaski County Crime Scene investigators, and Sheriff's Departments, like all kinds of people. What's up, Dorothy? What's up, Felicia? The comments are probably even super delayed. So I went out there, was reporting while we were out there. We did discover they were draining the swimming pool out beside this tiny house that sits on the Stones property. Oh, perfect. Everyone, there's Frank. Y'all know what we do. When Frank comes on, we stop what we're doing and say, hi, Frank. Hi, Frank. So there was a tiny house sitting on this property. There was a swimming pool underneath it. The fire department come out and drained the swimming pool earlier that morning. And then they brought in an excavator and began digging. They dug approximately, I don't know, probably 9 to 10 feet down, where they did discover a body in there of a male. At the time, we only kind of knew what was going on. We didn't have any confirmations. By the end of the day, right around 5 o'clock, they did recover a body and they did bring it out. During the day when we was over there, the sheriff's office had brought a lady by in handcuffs, walked her to the property. We do know that lady's name is Amy Smith. And she was charged with some other things. We'll talk about that in a minute. We had early reported we thought it was her dad. In fact, I've had several conversations with members of the victim's family, and now I can tell you that the family will confirm that the victim is actually Jeffrey Smith, is 53 years old. His family members live out of state, some in Kansas, some in Michigan. He went missing. They lost contact with him in June of last year. They lost contact with him. The family member told me that they had called to go over and check on him. You know, they wanted a checkup on him, sent him over. He couldn't be found. They filed a missing persons report. I'm trying to get a copy of the missing persons report. I still don't have it. So this was June of last year. All this time went by, and she started putting pressure on the sheriff's office to find something. And we're not really for sure yet, but Pulaski County got tipped off that he's actually 60. Thank you. I was just going by the birthday date provided. I might have did my math incorrectly there, Steve. Thank you for that correction, if that's it. Probably did my math incorrect. They kind of got tipped off, and so they went over. Pulaski County deputies made an arrest of 3 people. That'd be Amy Smith, Garner Simpson IV, and the third person, and they got arrested that day, all for the same charges. So I'll just read them. 2, they got arrested that day for possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia. 2 more possession charges, drugs and firearms, possession of firearms, and maintaining a drug premises. There's all 3 charged with that Amy Smith, which would be Jeffrey Smith's daughter. Now, when we were out there that day, we got some tips that we now know to be true, because after speaking to his family, thank you, Steve. Thank you. I really did the math wrong. I got it written down over here. Thank you for sharing that. If you got a picture of him, Steve, I'd love to have it. His out-of-state family didn't have any that I've been in touch with. So what we had heard from witnesses there, that he had died of natural causes, and they decided to bury him under the swimming pool so they can continue to cash his Social Security check. In fact, one of the people that was given a tip was very specific. They said that they would be able to pull the cameras back because they'd still been using his card. After speaking with the family members, in fact, that is what they did. He did die. We don't know what he has died of yet. That's still in the autopsy, waiting for it to come back. The coroner office has been backed up, so we still don't have an official cause of death. And the official cause of death will definitely determine the outcome of this. If he died of natural causes and they buried him out there, there's one set of charges. If he didn't die of natural causes, that could be something totally else. So they're waiting for the autopsy report to come back to see what he actually died of. Now, people close to the case has told me that Amy Smith, what's up, Paula? What's up, Kathy? Amy Smith, the daughter of Jeff Smith, gave a statement and confessed, stating that Dad had died. They wanted to continue cash his checks, and so they buried him out under the swimming pool. That's where we're at today. Pulaski County, since it's still an open investigation, they won't release the details. What's up, Toby? They've yet to officially confirm the name, but you can't get any better confirmation than the family members themselves on that. Definitely a wild story, especially if you were out there that day. We had a lot of crazy things that went on. I did have Jeff's identity a couple of weeks ago, but I wanted to make sure that at least the family had been made aware. And then one of the family members actually reached out to me. I believe this one is in Michigan, and some more of the family is in Kansas. So they're having to do all of this remotely. And so we've been talking every few days to see what each of us knows. But very sad that a family member would do such. Yes, I'm going to hope and pray that he did die of natural causes. That is what the statements are saying right now, but we will not be able to confirm that until we get that autopsy report back, which is kind of important. But I want to use this to highlight, what's up, Deborah? I want to use this to highlight how slow sometimes things take. So June 30th, they was already prepared to do a search. So they already knew. They've been working on this case for some time to even be able to get a search. So they got their search once the arrests were made. So generally speaking, if they can pick you up on other charges to get you in and question you, good night, Kathy, and get in and question you while you're in jail, that's their preferred way to do it. So they'll get you for another charge that you might have. And when you're in there, the detectives get to bug you and talk to you pretty much as often as they want until you say you want a lawyer, which I recommend everybody to do. And then so they get them on the drug charges, then they have to get the body, then they start getting this story together. Now you wait for all the reports to come back, and depending on whether it's natural causes or unnatural causes is where they'll proceed next. If it's natural causes, we got a couple of laws in Arkansas. What did I miss? What's up, Judy? I'll do a brief recap in a minute. If Jeff Smith died of natural causes and they just put him under the pool, there'll be various charges with abusing a corpse, and of course the charges for actually stealing and cashing his money. What's up, Lisa? On that, if he didn't die of natural causes, the investigation will get longer. because then they'll be looking at whatever the cause of death is. We have no reason to believe that it's not natural causes till we get something back. It is taking a long time to get the reports back. And in all fairness, we've had a lot of homicides and deaths. Like, even if someone dies, and there's no apparent reason, they're going to do an autopsy on them, especially if they're like out in public and something weird happens there. But I did want to come on and tell you, so I'll recap real quick for you. The victim who was dug up in Hensley on June 30th was Jeff. Sorry. Ugh. I hate that when that happens. Oof. Jeffrey Smith. His daughter Amy was the one that gave a statement, and he has been reported missing since June of last year. So that's what I got in that particular case. I'll jump back on in a little bit and we can chat and talk about what you all think. I appreciate y'all's patience on this. I know the corporate media is not covering it, and I've been holding names and stuff pretty close to the heart, mainly until I can speak to the family and get their perspective on it. What's up, Tony? Hopefully the autopsy will come back sometime next week, and we can move further along in this case. Until then, keep his family in y'all's prayers. They were like most people that have missing people. I knew it was going to be her dad. Yeah, it was definitely her dad. The most people that have people missing, even though they're sad, when their loved one's body is recovered, they begin to feel some kind of closure. Otherwise, you have that uncertainty and not knowing. It's just a crazy story. I can't imagine burying my mother or my father out under a swimming pool where I live, putting water in it, just so I could cash their checks. I could not do that as a human at all. Now, if they wanted to be buried in the yard, we could probably arrange that for them. But just to do it to cash their checks, I could not do that. The crazy thing, Amy Smith still has swimming pools for sale. The daughter has swimming pools for sale on Facebook Marketplace, which kind of went where some of the confusion was coming in that day, because people was like, no, that pool was in a box in the backyard just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, this is the recap. Yeah. In fact, she had several swimming pools she was selling. So she just used, there was truly something wrong with that, yes. She had several swimming pools that she was actually selling, so the people that saw swimming pools in her backyard, that would be the truth. The body, because, it took 4 people to put it out, pick Jeff up, and so the body was more intact than what you would expect for being out there that long. But it was buried about 9 feet, I think. We're going to be looking at 9 feet underground. And I do know from sources closest to the scene, it was wrapped up in a tarp also. And then it was buried back, so they definitely didn't do this by hand. They had to have a backhoe. So the question is, where'd they get the backhoe? Where'd they get the tractor from? And if you watched any of the videos, Norma says putting someone under the pool is pretty suspicious. I guess if you want to keep receiving the money and have zero consequences, yes, very sad. So they'd have to use a backhoe to dig up. So the question is, where'd they get the backhoe from? Because now that person would be involved. And then they laid down, packed it real good. It was good and tight. And then they put 4 tarps over that. And then they put the swimming pool and filled it up over that. And kind of went on about their life, using their debit cards and spending his money, which, by the way, eventually will help lead them to that. what we're being told, Lisa want to know how they found out the body was under the pool. What we're being told by people close to the investigation is that Amy Smith confessed to it. Amy Smith, I think what we're going to find out when she was confronted with using her father's debit card and spending his money, I think she come clean, said he died. I think this is what we're going to find out. And they buried him under the pool, which would explain why sheriff's deputies brought her out that day to walk to the pool, point to the location, which we all seen that. We didn't know it was Amy Smith at the time up there. So I think that's what we're going to see coming out of that. That's just my guess, my opinion. That's not fact. Teresa said, could not even imagine doing this to a parent, natural causes or not, especially keeping the checks as well. Yeah, it was all about the money. That's what it's going to be. It's all about the money. And, you know, based on their charges, they got addiction problems. So addicts don't think clearly. That's not an excuse for their behavior. But when we're trying to wrap our head around why people would do that, think if you're on a drug, you do not think clearly. So that thinking is shaded. So what we would think would be okay would not necessarily be okay for them. So now there are two different thinkings on that. So a lot of time, since I'm a recovered addict, 6.5 cleans. Yeah, I'm 6.5 years clean. I know how much my thinking has changed since I was an addict to where I am now, and it's totally different. Things that I thought was completely okay and actions that I would do, which made total sense to me. And there was big life-changing decisions I made when I was an addict, and I thought, I would even swear to you that they were the right thing to do. Looking back now, thank you, Monica. Looking back now, I know they wasn't. I know how I go. I've actually told my therapist, what was I thinking? Why did I think that was okay? How could anyone possibly, with any intelligence, think that's right? And then I have to remember that I wasn't thinking clearly. Steve has a question, same as I. Curious as to why the husband of Amy and husband's mother got out of jail. Good question, Steve. I will say that night, the Amy and her boyfriend / husband, I don't even know if they're officially married, Steve, just to let you know. We can't even confirm they're officially married. That means with the state. That night, Amy and her husband's picture was both listed on the mugshot list, but the third person, which would be the husband's or the boyfriend's mother, same charges, her picture wasn't listed. She got out first. Both Gunther, let me pull up his name, otherwise I'm going to say it wrong. Amy and the boyfriend / husband had to post a $30,000 bond to get out. Where'd my notes go? What's up, Shirley Jones? How are you? So I'm very curious too. I do believe Amy probably got investigated that morning, and that's when they got the warrants and they went out. Now, since there's not been any additional charges made, there's nothing we can look at. There, Ryan says, liking, commenting, and sharing. Keep up the hard work, Alvie. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you guys for clicking reactions and sharing. Yeah, it was Garner. Yeah, that was him. Thank you. The fourth. You got it right. And then his mother. So the mother got out first. I don't even see the mother on the court documents, so they might have dropped all the charges against that mother. But Amy and Gardner was definitely charged, and they still got cases pending, but they're showing up in a traffic court type thing, which means we haven't got the full breadth of charges coming. As soon as they do, I will give y'all an update on that. What's up, Reva? Which maybe in the next week or so, depending. But once again, it's going to come down to one thing. Did Jeff die of natural causes, or did he not die of natural causes, where the case proceeds on that. Man, what a crazy case. Even that day was like nutty because of the people that got involved and was saying stuff over the air. Some of them was actually kind of entertaining in such a bad place. What's up, Jenny? All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I will come back on in a few minutes. We can have a sit down and chat, but I did want, like the news little segments, I like to do in updates. I like to keep them short enough where everybody can enjoy them. So I will come back on for that. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget, I am trying to earn that Facebook bonus, and they're paying me for you guys clicking reactions, sharing the videos, and commenting. You guys are, by the way, you guys hit that reaction button. I'm in one of the top 1% of Facebook pages. Top 1% when it comes to clicking reactions. Top 1% clicking reactions, because you guys are amazing at that. Y'all out commenting. I'm in the top 5% on commenting. Then all of a sudden I drop on the shares. So it's okay to share the news. Let me tell you that. It's okay to hit the share key. And I don't do a good job of reminding you guys to hit it like I do the reactions. And you have to put in a little extra work to hit the share key down here. Randy, you'll have to hit it and rewind, because I'm actually wrapping up right now. But I was just giving an update on the body they recovered in Hensley, which we now know is Jeffrey Smith. I'll try to find you a picture. Steve, yeah, man, if you can get a picture, that'll be great. And I know his sister and his aunt would like a picture of him as well. That way, I'd like to show people, too. He at least deserves that. All right. By the way, for those who are just jumping on, I'm going to be back on in about 15 minutes. We'll have a sit-down chat about all of this. So, thank you. I'm proud of my 6 years, too. This is Alvie from Just Alvie News, reminding you to always make good choices.